You might have been lucky.
Yeah.
You might have been lucky.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm down here at Swift Performance in Aylesbury, and I'm here with, well, Russ, who's inside, and Tim, who is the other half of Swift Performance that we don't see too often.
No.
So Tim's gonna help us talk through what's going on in the background, because Russ is basically cracking on with the M2. But before we do that, I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone that's watched the first video on the disastrous gear change. There's been some really nice support. There's been loads of lovely comments, so I really appreciate it. About 2.5 weeks on now, and I've come down here because these guys very kindly have had the M2 inside up on the stand, just waiting for the right time for me to come down and film, because as with everything with me, it's a pain in the arse because...
Not at all, not at all. You're a busy man.
I'm a busy man, yeah, but you guys are so busy. And talking of that, wow, well, firstly, we're in their new premises, which is still a work in progress, but it's so much bigger and nicer than the other one. It's just down there, the other unit. I know I showed it a little bit in the previous video, but it's just honestly incredible down here. And the cars that they've had down here tonight, well, they had a beautiful 1M, which is exactly where the camera was. I'll be showing you that now in the overlay. There's a lovely E39 M5 in there, actually the same customer, who's really lovely. He's headed off to go and get us kebabs for dinner tonight. So that's the sort of clientele they have. Got Grillers over there. We've got a Team Sherman car down there. We've got Russ's absolute shitbox E46 M3 convertible down there. And of course, we've got my car in there at the moment, which Russ is working on, because the first thing we need to find out is essentially what has happened, what's gone on inside the engine. So what's Russ up to at the moment? What's he doing?
He's currently got the fun job of removing the fan cowling and other ancillary objects really in the way for us to get access to the main crank hub, so that we can at least try and turn it over manually, see if it's actually going to turn or whether it's actually locked or seized.
Yep.
And then from there, depending on what we find there, we can then move on to maybe lid off, plugs out. If we can see it turning, we can see maybe a bit crudely, but screwdriver down, see if we're actually getting some movement on pistons. From there, maybe a cylinder leak down test after that, depending again what we find. And at least from that, we should be able to determine you know,
how
process,
bad it is.
Yeah, a process of moving forward as to what we're going to do.
Yeah, because it's a mechanical thing. I mean, modern cars are great in one way, that you can plug them in, and if it's an electrical thing, you're probably going to find out, aren't you, or get half an idea.
Yeah.
But when it's something like this, as you saw hopefully in the previous video, Russ plugged it in, it's thrown up a load of error codes, but that really doesn't mean anything because it's a mechanical issue. And these sensors have all just been knocked, haven't they?
Yeah, if anything, one sensor's pick it. I mean, if something has obviously come out of timing, you'll have a crank sensor and a cam sensor telling each other totally different things.
Yeah.
And obviously that will throw up a whole heap of fault codes. So you just can't take any of that as law. So it's get in there, physically see what's wrong with it, and obviously make a plan from there.
Sure. I think I mentioned this in the first video. For me, I'm really intrigued because I'm not that mechanically minded. I can change wheels, I can change the occasional brake pad, as long as it's not the rear of an M3 G80 or 81, because you need to plug them in these days.
Diagnostics for them too.
Yeah, but when it comes to engines and internals, I don't claim to know much. So for me, it's an adventure, but not the sort of adventure I want to go on too regularly. I'm going to go inside and see where Russ is up to, and hopefully give you some commentary a bit later as we're sort of going through that process. But thanks, mate. Appreciate it very much.
Dude. Very good, very nice.
Brilliant. Look, I'm laughing. See, the last video I was so glum. I've had 2.5 weeks to completely get over it. And it is what it is. Everyone's alive, everyone's healthy, and nobody was hurt in the process. Not yet, anyway. I better be careful.
And everything's repairable.
And everything's repairable.
Ross, what have we just discovered, or what have you just told me?
Well, if you put that on there, the nut is loose.
Okay, so that is the crank hub.
Yeah.
That's the infamous crank hub that fails on the S55.
It's quite loose, to be fair.
Wow. the timing's probably out.
It almost certainly is.
Yeah.
And the fault codes that we had did show synchronisation issues, didn't they?
Yeah.
So there's probably some contact gone on,
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Okay.
But we'll just keep powering on and find out.
So you can see here that Russ has removed basically everything that's on the front of the engine, between the bumper and the front of the engine. Things like the radiator, the intakes are gone now, and yeah, he's just plugged up the inlets down there, so nothing goes in there, nothing falls in there. And that is the crank hub. That's the bottom of the engine essentially. So is this normal service down here then?
Yes,
Tim?
it is.
Yeah?
It really is. Yeah.
Okay, cool, excellent.
Yeah, next time you might get candle lights,
Excellent.
maybe some flowers.
So it's a bit like when I borrowed Russ's GR Yaris that time, people thought that was actually the courtesy
The
car.
general, yeah, that was
Yeah.
a courtesy car.
Yeah. So Russ is just pulling off the charge cooler that sits at the top of the engine. It's a bit of a S55 trademark, that really. Something we see many of, or at least I've seen many of over the years. He's removed the coil packs here that sit on top of the spark plugs, which are actually just through there. You can just about see them. I know the lighting for this camera is not amazing, but hopefully you can pick most of that up. But yeah, slowly but surely, all the auxiliaries are coming off this this engine. So yeah, it's a proper strip down. So Russ is now taking one of the plugs out, but we've had a good look around the top of the engine, and at least visually you can't see that there's anything broken. There's no fragments in there. It all looks very clean. I mean, the car's only done 12,000 miles and I've probably had 3 or 4 oil changes in that time, so you'd expect it to be reasonably clean. Here comes the plug. Tim was just explaining that when you're setting up the timing on these, you've got these flat edges, so one here and one down here. At least both of these cams look like they're still lined up, but obviously they need to be lined up with the bottom, right? And that's the main thing. That's what's spun, yeah. So that, if you couldn't see earlier on, that is the crank hub. In fact, I can put my GoPro down there, we can have a look at the actual nuts. So here we go. That's it. I was going to say that's the culprit, but it's not. The culprit is me. But yeah, that's potentially the weak point. I ran off to make a cup of tea, and Russ has been busy again. So what have we done, Russ, or what have you done?
So I've timed up the top end.
Timed up the top end. So this bar here is part of the timing gear, right? And the red. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks factory. It looks like like Nismo'd my car now.
Nismo'd. You're an idiot.
I know.
So yeah, we'll time up the bottom end.
Okay.
We'll tighten up the nut, and then we'll check cylinder leakage on each cylinder just to see if we've got anything. You might have been lucky.
Yeah.
You might have been lucky.
Okay. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Although at the moment I can't because
there's certainly nothing. There's certainly nothing obvious.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a bent valve, it's not fully shut.
Yep.
You would see a gap between the rocker and the top of the valve. I would have thought.
Okay.
Having before on other engines, I've seen that. So.
All right.
Or even broken bits where the valves have been thumped.
Yeah. Yeah. It all looks pretty clean in there, doesn't it?
Well, clean doesn't make any difference, but
No.
certainly doesn't look anything too obvious. But once we've done a leak down test, we'll know.
know a bit more.
So we'll just time the bottom up and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's time my bottom up.
Let's time up your bottom.
And go from there. Thanks, mate. Oh, that does look good. Can we leave the red thing on there?
Leave it on there if you want.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Especially if it's
I'm gonna have to bleep that.
yeah, bleep.
Oh no, your wig. This is just.
My
Oh,
wig has been holding on.
oh, going up. Oh, all the artwork, by the way, here is done by Pop Bang Colour. Fantastic artist. That one, that one, that one. You're just showing off. You're like, I've got a lift as well. Look.
I got one too.
And that bit of art there, and that bit of art there. Mr. Pop Bang Colour.
Pop Banker.
And let's just admire this beautiful E39 M5 alloy. Isn't it lovely?
E39 530, 5-spoke twin parallel wheels were lovely.
Yes.
Diamond cut deep dish.
Oh yes.
You
Oh
remember them?
yes, I do remember.
Yeah.
It was a Sport.
Twin- yeah.
The 530i Sport.
That's it. With the,
Yeah.
the twin, the parallels, weren't they?
Yep.
5-spoke. Oh,
But they are lovely as well. That
Yeah.
finish. These remind me a little bit of the non-option wheels on the E46 M3.
oh God, yeah.
I love those.
It's like carbon black, isn't it?
Yeah. So we now have Russ under the car, who is
On tiptoes.
on tiptoes, basically trying to time up the bottom of the engine with the top of the engine. We've got Jodie up there on this ladder, which I'm holding, by the way. Health and safety first. And there is a beautiful Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyre. Look at that beautiful velvet sidewall. Isn't that pretty? Lovely jubbly. And some nice AP racing brakes that slowed me down as I limped into the pits with no engine. So we now have an endoscope. I had something similar to this put down my throat many years ago when I had acid reflux. But this is obviously slightly bigger and more industrial for cars. So this one works over Bluetooth and connects to your phone. So look. Hello. Hello. Look, you can turn it around. I could put it in my mouth, but that would be disgusting. What have we done, Ross?
Timed it up.
Timed it up. So now the top of the engine is timed up to the bottom of the engine.
Now we're going to do a track day.
Now,
Put it back together.
and head straight out.
Head straight out.
Should we do Bedford maybe?
Let's do Bedford.
Back straight?
Tuesday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Top of fourth into fifth.
Got to get straight back on the horse.
Straight back on the horse.
So now we're going to just do a leak down test.
A leak down test,
And if
okay.
that- if it- yeah.
Are we going to stick that endoscope?
Yeah, we'll have a look down there. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of halfway. I'm intrigued to see this thing here.
Oh,
Devoided, is it?
what is that? Looks a bit pitted.
It's not the clearest thing, is it?
Looks like a cog. Don't know this. It's when you see some light on the floor. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the top of his New Balance trainers.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's just the
To be honest, if every hole's the same,
just a clean spot.
What? Every hole what?
if every hole's the same,
Every hole's not the same, is it?
depends if sweet. If you put a bit of sweet corn out on the end of it or not, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the woman that goes to the.
Well, the camera's running.
I know.
Yeah, go and carry on.
It's a woman that goes to the doctor and says, "Oh, I've got a problem with my bum." And it's, okay, whereabouts? Well, the entrance. And he says, "Well, as long as you call it the entrance, you'll have a problem."
Oh wow. That might be the opening clip of the video. Is that the Nürburgring tattoo on your wrist?
Yes.
Is that new?
January.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, was that okay?
There's nothing on the tops of these pistons that looks
No.
anything like.
Out of the ordinary.
No.
Oh, okay.
Lucky.
What you think?
I don't think there's anything obviously wrong with any of them.
Joe should be so
Lucky, lucky, lucky. Joe should be so lucky in love.
In love.
I tell you what, if your engine has sustained no damage, you should buy yourself a lottery ticket.
I should.
You should buy me a lottery ticket.
I
mate.
should, I should buy everyone. Or at the very least, I'll buy you all a kebab.
With your millions when you win
It's
it.
that earlier.
Yeah, well, I only had 28 quid, so I could only pay for half of it.
It's because we splashed that with mixed.
Yeah, I don't deal with cash these days. £28 is the max that I carry around, just in case I get robbed.
That's enough money to put in the car to get home.
Yeah, with one of these S55s, the thirstiest engine in the world. So we plugged now this pressure testing tool into, what's that, cylinder 1?
Yeah.
And you're now releasing air,
We're
right?
just calibrating it. So
Okay.
we connect this. If this has got bent valves, then you'd expect this to have quite a lot of leakage.
Okay.
It's got fucking no leakage at
Oh,
all.
well, the timing of Tim dropping that spanner then. I was like,
Literally.
it's playing tunes.
So you're literally right down at like 5%.
Oh, so that's about as good as it gets?
Well, I would say so. Yeah.
So, okay, so red is high leakage, and then you got moderate.
Put
and
it
you got
this way:
low.
if I just loosen that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, look,
Yeah.
and you'll get a little bit past. It's air, so you'll get
Yeah.
a little bit. And the fact the engine hasn't run for ages, so
Yeah.
you've got no, fresh oil on the balls or anything.
Sure.
That's,
Oh, so that's literally just finding its way around the actual, around the ring. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's amazing. I honest to God didn't think you'd have. We'll check the rest,
Yeah.
but
Okay, off to a good start. Number one. Number one gets thumbs up. Which cylinder are we on now then, Russ?
number 5.
Number 5. So we're going in the firing order, right?
Yep.
Here we go. Oops. Wow. That's exactly the same as the first one.
It is.
Okay, so that's good news.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going cylinder number 3.
Yep. Oh, we must have got something a bit wrong there.
Okay, so we think, well, 3 appeared to have a bit of a leak, but we're just continuing on now, so we're into number 6. Let's see what 6 says. Oh, 6 is good. 5%-ish. Is that the same as 1 and 5? So 1, 5 and 6 are good. 3 we're not sure about. And number 2 is
Yeah.
looking very good.
Yeah.
5%. So I think we should just check number 3 again.
Well, no, we've got to go number 4 now.
Oh, number 4. Oh, we haven't done number 4. See, I can't even count to 6. I mean, I was
but
trying to
it-
figure out percentages
but
earlier on.
in your defence, it's 6 in a jumbled order.
Yes. Thanks, Russ.
That's all right.
Right, so we're about to try number 4, and Russ was just saying that if number 3 is
No, that's
bent,
fine. That's fine.
oh,
That's fine. That's fine.
that's fine.
Yeah. So let's check number. Let's run through and check number 3 again.
I have to beep that again, Russ.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's after hours. It's after the watershed, mate.
After the watershed.
Yeah. Right, so we've gone back into cylinder 3, and it couldn't be much worse. Which is a real shame because 5 out of the 6 are perfect. But that seems to be the culprit. Right, that yawn was good timing because it's now past midnight. It's pitch black outside, but we have got somewhere today. So Russ, can you talk us through what you're going to show us now?
So we've got air loss on cylinder 3.
Yep.
Basically where the crank hub's quickly spun.
Yep.
The top end has stopped rotating. Obviously whatever valves were left open while the car was turning the crank.
Yep.
It's basically what's caused the issue.
So the bottom end of the engine was still spinning
Because of the rolling along.
Because of the rolling along, yeah. But the top end, because of the spun crank hub and loosened crank hub, the top end has stopped rotating.
Yes.
But the damage had already been done a little bit.
Well, if it would have slipped, the timing slipped out, but it's all still turning, you'd have probably clonked a lot more valves. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So when we connect this, we can hear that there's a hissing. There's almost 100% loss.
Yep.
So to work out where that's coming from, quite fairly easily, have a listen down by the intake manifold.
Yep.
Can't really hear.
There's nothing there.
Too much there.
Yep.
If you go to the back of the car and listen in the exhaust pipes.
Yep. So there's nothing on the driver's side. Nothing.
Yeah.
But over here, yes. Yeah, hopefully the GoPro's picking that up. But yeah, in fact, you can actually feel it as well.
Yeah. that's where all the air's going out, straight out of those valves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is the end of today's episode down here at Swift Performance. Next time, well, we're going to have to delve deeper.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Head off.
And
New valves. See, make sure there's nothing else in there.
yeah.
And then we'll probably have a look at the shells as well.
Yeah.
As it's revved beyond its,
It's because I've spent so much time in a GT3 lately. I thought this revved to 9,000, but no, not quite. Massive thanks as always for everything down here, Russ and Tim. Tim, thanks for being on camera early on.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Look how hard these guys work. I mean, seriously, it's gone midnight and they're both in here. I hope that this GoPro action, GoPro mic, and fairly sort of dull lighting compared to daylight, which I normally film in, hasn't ruined the video too much. And I hope that you've enjoyed me taking you along for the journey. I've certainly learnt a lot, and I think I'm going to learn a lot more over the next couple of M2 Club Sport fixing video series range. I'm going to go because I'm really tired. Take it easy, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.